For Take Your Kid to Work Day, I visited Seaspan, where my aunt works, and I got to see a day in the life of a Seaspan worker. The first thing they did was give us some safety gear for when we got to see the ships. It was a bit nerve-wracking because there were 30 other kids there, but it was a lot of fun. We started out with a slideshow of the current ships that Seaspan is built. We first visited a room with a VR version of what the current ship that Seaspan is working on looks like. They created this model to have a reference for the workers, and to be sure that there are no flaws in the design. The second thing we got to see was the tugboat simulator. This is used for training tugboat operators, but it was also just a lot of fun to be inside. It was a full 360-degree screen, and to be honest, the whole thing made me a bit dizzy. I'd just like to add that I was feeling very official and fancy in my gear, so... After we finished with the tugboat simulator, we got to see the thing that we had all been waiting for, the shipyards. These warehouse-looking places are where they create pieces of the ships. They make them by welding together smaller pieces of metal, and then stack those pieces together to create the ships. This is where they're building vessels that will provide aid and resources to those who need it. This was a really fun way to see the stages of construction of the ship, and we even got to see them welding some of the metal.
What do you think it's going to do? Support somebody. Who really needs support right now? Maybe people in other countries that have limited resources when it comes to fuel, fresh water. Maybe they need military aid. There's 200 hospital beds on board JSS. So if a hurricane comes and hits something on the East Coast, the JSS can go down and provide 200 hospital beds. Don't you think that's an important thing to have in the world right now?
After a quick discussion, we actually got to climb on top of the ship itself, and the view from up there was incredible. After a breathtaking view, we made our way down and got a chance to see Big Blue, the famous crane. After that, we ate lunch, and I got to see the barges that my aunt helps coordinate.
Are you filming already? Me and my team, we talk to the customers and we put the orders in doors in the system. And then when they see them, they are the ones dispatching the boats. They talk directly to the boats and tell them where to go and what to do. And so you can see there's the camera so they can see the boat and the boat's over there. And that's what they do.
What kind of experience do you need to work at Seaspan?
It's different departments, so it depends. So if you want to work on the boats, you need like marine experience. You need to get like I think it's BCIT school that they have all these degrees, and you can be a deckhand, and after deckhand you get like certain amounts of hours, then you can become a mate, and then a mate you can become a captain. So it's different degrees. But then if you want to work in the office, like scheduling, when I first started I didn't have any marine experience. I came from the hospitality, like working in hotels. But I had the customer service and I had the part of like organizing and scheduling, and that kind of helped me getting in here. So basically, yeah, I have an office job, which is basically talking to customers all day long and putting the orders in the system so they can assign the boats and dispatch it to the boats. And then it depends if you want to be an engineer, more like working on the shipyards, like building vessels, or if you want to HR person, just hiring people and dealing with resumes. You can be an accountant, like your parents, because there's a lot of like invoicing paperwork that needs to be done. We need lawyers too, because there's a lot of contract with the different customers, so sometimes we also need kind of like advice.
Next, I got to go on a tour of one of the tugboats, and I got to see where they live, where they work, the engine room, and the controls. The tour guide was very helpful, and I learned a lot about being a deckhand. These are the living quarters, and although they might not be the most luxurious, anyone who works on a boat gets a long vacation after they come back. After that, I got some of the fanciest coffee I'd ever gotten from one of the fanciest coffee machines ever. Honestly, I had a ton of fun, and I can picture this as a potential career option for me in the future.